everyone, and welcome to my proposal. Today I will be talking about the issues concerning should college athletes be paid, an issue that has been controversial for the past decade or two. This is something that I personally hear all the time within family and friends. It seems to be something that for people who are pro or con for paid athletes can never agree upon. NCAA, which is the directory of college athletics, has had no intention of changing for many years. They see no need in having to pay college athletes, saying that players on scholarship is more than enough for the student athletes because they are basically being paid through scholarships to play and get good education. With that being said, I'm here today to tell you that's wrong and that college athletes should be paid for all the time that they spend training and revenue that they bring into their school. There are many reasons as to why college athletes should be paid, with reasons saying that colleges and universities are profiting from the work and likeliness of athletes, as well as they are almost working a full-time job. With everything being said, there are many reasons that come together to support the idea that college athletes should be paid. To start things off, the first and most important idea I would like to talk about is the fact that colleges are profiting so much from the work and likenesses of college athletes. This is something that doesn't sound right due to the fact that these athletes are putting in so much work in order to play and be at where they are today. In the graph we previously just saw, it shows the revenue that is acquired through each college sport. As we can see, so much money comes back to the school athlete, but athletes don't see a single dime. Michael Sokolov explained, if you look at a program like University of Louisville, they generate about $45 million a year in revenue. They give out 13 scholarships that adds up to about 400,000 grand a year. The rest of it gets spread out to the coaches who make $8 million a year, to the assistant coaches who make as much as $500,000 a year. All throughout the athletic department, people are making six-figure salaries. It does not go to the players, what I call the unpaid workforce. By looking at this, it makes sense to pay the athletes due to the fact that they are the ones putting in all the work and are the biggest factors of successful organizations. With the majority of athletes being black and coming from low-income homes, this causes an issue. This is because they don't get any spending money or time to make money. So how do they pay for things that they want or need? Most of what they have or get comes from parents. Scholarships only pay for schooling, and in some cases, not everyone has the same situation going on. There are different scholarships that pay for half, part, or full. To sum everything up, college students should be paid because they aren't getting the money that they are working for. The next idea that I would like to talk about is the idea that they are working at a full-time pace, meaning that with every practice and game that is going on per week, they put in close to 40 hours. In recent studies, it has been stated that each student athlete spends at least 35 hours a week working out, playing games, and in general just doing activities that are required for athletes. This means that they are basically almost working a full-time job while having to go to school and get all of their schoolwork done. This doesn't allow for any time to work or try to accumulate money at all. With that being said, this is another reason as to why college athletes should be paid. On the other hand, we have the forces that go strictly against the idea of should college athletes be paid, saying that college athletes shouldn't be compensated due to the fact that they are getting paid through scholarships. That with having to pay those expenses for college athletes just doesn't leave enough money to pay them. The NCAA says that colleges spend more money on the sports than they get back in revenue. Maryville states scholarships are the fairest form of compensation for student athletes, considering the financial strain that college athletic departments are under. Most schools in Division I, II, and III spend more money on athletics than they receive in revenue from the sports. This is basically saying that scholarships are more than enough due to the fact that college is having to pay for more than just the student athlete's tuition. They get new equipment, new clothes, and traveling expenses are paid for them, which means that colleges are losing more money than they're receiving, meaning there is now no way they would be able to pay college athletes. Another topic that goes against the idea of college students being paid is the rich and wealthy would benefit the most, in terms of colleges at least. With every college being different in every aspect, each school has limited amount of money that can spend towards their athletes or anything that they really need. This creates a huge issue because not every college would be giving their student the same amount of money. In other terms, how does a college determine how much a student athlete is really worth? Best Colleges states, assuming a free market system, the chasm between the haves and have-nots would widen even further. Universities best positioned to pay athletes top dollar would win bidding wars and recruiting battles against institutions with limited budgets. Athletic competition nationwide would suffer as a result. Might this exacerbate booster interference and create a black market for top talent funded surreptitiously? This just creates a very complicated system that really just wouldn't work out. In college terms, there is no way of knowing how much each player is worth. The colleges that suffer from not getting enough revenue or not having enough money to give lose because they can't get the players they may want or need. With that being said, colleges shouldn't pay athletes because it would create a very monopolistic system. To sum everything up that has been stated so far from the beginning to where we are at now, colleges give scholarships to pay for college athletes. They don't have any other source of income, and that is really the issue. How are these student athletes supposed to pay for things they want and need when they have no way of making money? Meaning that college athletes should be paid for the work and likeliness they provide, as well as doing activities for about 30 hours a week. I know from personal experience that is not too easy. Me as a student, I'm just a student, I'm not no student athlete, but I know that having schoolwork and then having to work even just 20 hours a week is tough. And I feel for them because they're working 35 hours a week, almost full time, while going to school. It makes it just very complicated and tough, especially with the practices they have, the games they have, and every student athlete activity that they have to do that is required of them. But thank you guys for watching. That is the end.